and I ran towards Holloway's room. Oh my god. No! No 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 no. No! Hello everyone, this is Natnarf signing back in, and welcome back to Jake Hunter, File 3. And we just learned that there's a gunshot, there's multiple gunshots in the building, so let's see who got shot. Jake! Julia! You alright? I'm fine. Those gunshots, they came from Mr. Holloway's room. Shit. So they've been after Holloway. Why? I told Julia to call the cops and ran towards Holloway's room. Am I gay? Who the hell? For a moment I hesitated. Should I go after a man with a bean shooter, or should I go see if Mr. Holloway had been given some large caliber lead poisoning? Holloway, are you alright? Holloway! The goon's hand cannon had punched a number of holes straight to the Holloway's door. Little beans of light spoiled out of each hole, catching the gunpowder still hanging in the air. Mr. Holloway! Damn it, Holloway, if you're in there, say something. Is that you, Mr. Hunter? I heard it move from inside the room, and a shadow passed across the holes in the door. Yeah. Mr. Hunter, oh, am I glad to see you. Now, am I glad to see you? You just didn't respond to the damn thing. I didn't look like there was any drop of blood left in Mr. Holloway's face. Apart from that, he looked about as good as a man who's narrowly escaped being filled full of a lead can look. The hotel hallway was quiet. Most of the other hotel visitors had probably gone to bed. If I really booked it, I knew I might be able to catch the chump who tried to catch off my client. But I couldn't just leave Holloway. I had to at least see if he's alive. Holloway's visitor had certainly given a door for what for. Each shot had left a splintery hole straight through in this room. Interesting that they'd shot straight through the door and not on the locks or hinges. Scattered around the room were small holes from where the bullets had embedded themselves in the wall and into furniture. Holloway had been awfully lucky that he hadn't been hit. Yeah, he was too lucky. How are you feeling, Holloway? Doesn't look like he's hit you. Yes, it looks like I'm alright. As I flickered up to my face, then down to the floor. I get the feeling he couldn't bring himself to look at me and die. Oh, Eva, where have you gone? I'd been shot at before. It was an experience I hoped to repeat. Yeah, take a picture. But Holloway seemed to have already forgotten it. All he could think about was Eva. Why did this guy try and off you? I don't know. They just fired through the door and then took off. So you never saw them? No. I was too scared to do much of anything except hide. Right. Eva, please come back soon. And there he went again. His devotion was sweet and all, but it made it hard to get any real information out of the guy. Still, why had he been attacked? I was the one who'd been warned. We just finished talking when I heard footsteps down the hallway. Sounded like several different people. And they were heading straight for Holloway's room. Get down, Holloway. I think the boot's back to finish the job. I threw Mr. Holloway and myself into the corner in a desperate attempt to gain some cover before the assassin returned. Hey, you take the picture. Hey, yeah. Trying to figure out how I disarmed the punk with the guy when I heard a voice I wasn't expecting. Sir, are you alright? I brought help. Please open the door. Great to hear your voice again, mate. Oh, it's a girl. Sorry. I threw open the door and a team of policemen spilled into the room, barking orders to one another. Well, sir, I'm glad to see you're none the worse for wear. As soon as they secured the room, some of the cops sat Holloway down in a chair and started asking him some questions. It wasn't long before a forensics team showed up and started going over the place with flashlights and cameras. Yulia and I were pushed to the side and all but ignored. Which was fine by me. I had better things to do than answer questions for the cops. Her face was pale, but she was all business as usual. I kinda hope she's not being at least a little worried about me. She wasn't she? Their work done, most of the cops were just milling about the room, talking to one another. There are a hell of a lot of them. Must have been a slow night. Nope. Yulia. How are you feeling, sir? No, you're serious and interested, I trust. Never felt better, sweetheart. Honestly, sir. Someday you are going to get yourself shot, and then who's going to sign my paychecks? Sweetheart, you've been signing your own paychecks for months. As long as you don't forget how to forge my signature, I think you'll be fine. You know I had to check on Holloway. The man's a client, and that means I got certain responsibilities. Of course I know that, sir. Just don't take the chances, okay? Stop forging your own signatures. They're all busy doing what comes. I didn't really think they'd have time for me. Can I move? After a few minutes of standing around awkwardly, I realized I wasn't helping anything by staying in Holloway's room. Oh, babe, I don't think Denny does anything around here. Of course, sir. You and I made our way through the cops filling the room and out into the hallway. It was late, but there were still a few people moving around. There wasn't much going on, but there was no missing and the tension in the air. Somebody firing off a gun in a hotel can do that. As usual, myself and our police escort arrived at the lobby. A man came running up to us. Glad to see you're alright. Hey, Sharp. What brings you here? I was on my way home when I heard there was a 417 at your hotel. Oh, yeah. What do you take? Thought I'd stop by and make sure you're still breathing. Keen to have my head if something happened to you in my city. We're in luck then. It's looking like they weren't after me. My client Holloway got his room all shut up, but they left me alone. What? So you're thinking maybe that call was for this Holloway, not you? Yeah, well, I'm certainly considering that possibility. I was hoping maybe your boys could keep an eye on Holloway just in case. Well, sure. Now that someone's been shot at, this is a police matter anyway. I'll see that the whole hotel has been put under surveillance. But the two of you really ought to get some rest. You look like warmed over shit, Hunter. Thanks, son. Thanks, Sharp. You're a real stand-up kind of guy. The man's got a point, babe. This time you and I got a little shut-eye. Yes, that's what it is. Honestly, though, I don't know if I can get to sleep. Our minds on the events of the night. Yola and I headed back to our rooms. The next day was going to be a rough one. My mind was going to a mile a minute, but I needed to get some sleep if I wanted to have any hope of dealing with what was to come. The next day. It felt like I'd barely closed my eyes when I opened them to sunlight streaming through my window. Dang. I got dressed as fast as I could and headed for the lobby. Good morning, sir. Sleeping late as usual. Have you gotten any sleep? Look, things were kind of crazy last night. Are you okay? Did you get any sleep? Well, some. You does a lot of things, but a good liar isn't one of them. From the moment I'd seen her that morning, I know she couldn't have gone more than an hour or two of sleep. The guy's been through a lot, but even after last night, all he can think about is Eva. He must care about Eva very much. God, man, I only caught the clips of the goon who plugged Holloway's door. He hoofed it out of there pretty quick. So I take it you have no idea who it was. Unfortunately, no, I don't. Where's the camera? Camera! Hey, just a peek at his face would have been something, but I agree. I'm just glad you weren't hurt, sir. Yeah, me too. Inspect. Sharp have been true to his word. There are cops all over the hotel, milling around and checking the customers. Still, there was so many of them. Even twice as many cops couldn't have kept track of everyone entering and leaving the hotel. There are quite a few guests standing around the lobby, eating continental breakfasts or talking. They all look pretty concerned. Gunfire in the hotel, you can do that to a person. I wasn't quite ready to head out. Who would I want to talk to? Look, wait, we need to talk. Is this about the investigation? No, it's not. Yulia, I want you to go back to Especio. What? Look, I've got things under control here. I don't really need your help. All I've had you do so far is look after a man who's been borderline catatonic for 2 days. I think you'll be a lot more help if you just head back to the office and get to work on those taxes. You're kidding. I'm serious. Dollface, I'm serious. There's really nothing for you to do here. I don't believe this. Look, I realize you're trying to look out for me in your own macho, arrogant way. But I'm part of the Hunter Detective Agency, just like you. I know what the risks are, and I accept them. Tell me you don't need my help is as insulting as it is a load of hogwash. Your whole operation would fall apart without my help, and you know it. Sir. Hey. Shit. No. Let me say, I don't want to hurt her feelings any more than it is. You'll go back to the office. Why of all the... Look, sir, I might be just your name on the sign, but I'm just as much a part of the detective agency as you are. I got my pride, just like you do, and I want to see this to the end. And I worry. I worry about... Oh, fine. Stop being awkward. Fine. Then, yeah, you win. You don't have to go back to the office. Thank you, sir. You had me worried there for a minute. But you gotta be with me 24/7. We aren't taking any chances. There's gonna be walking, a lot of walking. You think you're up to that? Of course, sir. I was in track and college. Alright then. College! I can't even speak right now. Let's get this show on the road. I guess we'll have to solve the case before we are attacked again, right? An excellent plan, sir. Hey, move! Now where do I go? Chinatown? Let's go there. As we neared the center of Chinatown, I began noticing a weird, oily smell. Again, Yulia pointed out buildings from her childhood to me as we passed. Oh, she was here. I was surprised so many of them were still there. We made our way to Chinatown. This place feels like it hasn't changed since I lived in Depono. Of course, the buildings have become larger and fancier, but the atmosphere hasn't changed one bit. It's a bit like Auspicio. Huh. Well, I suppose I see what you're getting at. After all, it's not like the buildings that brings a city to life. It's the people. The buildings change, but the people don't. Right. Scenery. It's the same. I'd heard once that the streets of Depono Chinatown had been laid out according to Feng Shui. Not sure if it was any true, but it was sure an interesting thought. People. Most of the people nearby were just tourists, trotting to and fro with their cameras in Bermuda shorts. Bermuda shorts! Gapping in awe at everything, even remotely Chinese. They spend most of their time poring over worthless knickknacks and t-shirts. A steady stream of tourists poured in and out of the restaurants that dotted the streets. I decided that when the case was over, I'd come back with Yulia and visit one of those restaurants. Oh, that Chinese restaurant is still here. I used to go there a lot when I was a student. It sure brings back memories. Ooh, you're old. Do you think a place like this would be too busy to let a guy think straight? Places like this are where inspiration happens and good ideas are born. Something about a crowded place like this helps me get my ducks in a row, I guess. What's the matter? You're mumbling. Oh, it's nothing. Yulia gave me a look, then shrugged and moved on. Don't we have to go see Iris today? Oh yeah! I'm a little worried about her. See, based on her attitude the other day, I think we can assume a few things about her. Then what would those things be? First of all, I think she knows something about the smuggling Consul's involvement. But I don't think she'd want to talk about that consulate. For obvious reasons. I agree, in all likelihood, he has the place bugged. Exactly. Second, I think she knows a lot more than than she's letting on. The two of them are supposed to be good friends. Maybe she knew something from the get-go, and maybe she found it out. She just found it out, but whatever it is, she doesn't want us to know. If that's the case, then there was something or someone at the consulate preventing her from telling you. Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's time we paid the consulate a little visit then, huh? Then let's go! What do you think? Yeah, let's go. We left Chinatown at a brisk pace, down the streets I was quickly becoming familiar with. Yulia kept pace with me as we headed towards the consulate, cool as a cucumber. We arrived at the Barkan consulate. Barakan! Ugh! Workplace of the missing Eva Cristina. Baraka isn't the only country to establish a consulate around here. There are several others all up and down into the street. Makes sense. This has got to be one of the nicest parts of Depono I've seen. Yes, it is. It has been for a long time. I gotta change my voice. My voice is going nuts. Depono is a large port city in an even large metropolitan area, so there have been and always been embassies and consulates here. That's so. That's so. In fact, I believe there's an old British embassy on that hill that looks out over the harbor. What did I want to do? Consulate. Several women who looked like tourists were taking pictures in front of the gate. Not the sort of thing I had seen in Espicio, but Depono was a different city with a different kind of people. Consulate Lane, as I like to call it, was lined with trees and shrubs, and the medians were overflowing with rich green grass. I almost felt like just being around all that plant life was making me healthier. Then again, maybe that was just because I was in a city where I couldn't see the air. Who are you? I'd seen him around the consulate the day before. Hey, you. What entire nation, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph's son? You sure gave me your frack. Thought I'd never one of them foreigners trying to talk to me. Sorry. Sorry, Onion? Yeah, that's the plan.
What do you think?
I don't know. Let's move inside. I wasn't going to get anything done standing outside looking at it. We headed for the entrance. I felt the familiar rush of cold air as we stepped through the door. Yulia and I looked around. Sure enough, the lobby was just as I left it. What? What did I want to do? Inspect. Around. Oh my, there's no one here with such a large building. I expect at least a few visitors. It's always like this. Not that strange for a small country, not that busy consulate, I suppose. The building does make you expect a little more, though. Front desk. I noticed Iris looking over at us. You look like you're scared already. Did you notice something, sir? No. No, nothing. Let's talk. Yeah, what did you press? Oh, you brought a friend. How lovely. Yeah, this is my assistant, Julia. Oh, my voice. I'm Julia Marks. It's a pleasure to meet you. Dot dot dot. I'm Iris Hart, the consulate receptionist. Please let me know if there's anything you need. Has anything happened since we talked? No, I don't think so. I had a feeling that would be the case. Never hurts to ask, though. Yes. I was hoping I might get to talk with Busk. One moment, please. There's an edge to Iris's voice that I hadn't heard before. I watched as she picked up the phone and said something to the person on the other end. I'm sorry, the consul will be busy all day today. I bet he will. Dang. Huh? What's up? Oh, never mind. No, we gotta talk! Please sign, Eva. I admit it's the only first impression, but Miss Hart seemed rather stiff and formal. Yeah, she did seem a little off. Every time I come here, the man's busy. The damn building's empty, so what on earth is he always busy with? I'm starting to think he's just avoiding me. Amazing, sir. I don't think I could ever have figured that out. Why do you think he doesn't want to talk to you? The only thing I can think of would be smuggling. You think that maybe Eva got tangled up in that somehow? Could that be why she's missing? This place is about as lively as a graveyard. I guess a small country doesn't get many visitors. Then perhaps they're doing something wrong. A small country needs plenty of visitors and businesses contacts. A country like Baraka needs to work twice as hard as a large country to survive in a global economy. Guess Busk isn't working as hard as he should be, huh? Is that all you can tell me? Hold on a moment. The lobby, empty as usual. I wasn't sure if it was my imagination or just poor lighting, but Iris's face looked pale. Yola and I might as well try and squeeze blood from a stone. We weren't going to find anything at the consulate. Please wait. Huh? What is it? Mr. Hunter, why are you doing this? Why are you working so hard to hurt a person you've never met? It's my job. I understand that, but is that it? Is Eva just another job for you? I get it. On the one hand, yeah, it is just a job. I gotta make ends meet. Just like every other job. And today, that means finding Eva. But the deeper I get into this more, I realize the poor kids just jumped into the middle of something that's way overhead. I just can't leave her there to drown, can I? What do you tend to do once you find her? He was not rich and there could be something more dangerous. I'm not expecting boatloads of cash. Only that Holloway promised me, and I've looked danger in the face before and I laughed. But you have a point. I don't know this kid. Never even met her. I'm not even so sure why I'm so worked up about myself. I'll tell you what I do know. I know this girl means a whole hell lot to you and Holloway. Listen to the two of you talk about her, she must be something real special. So I guess that's your reasoning, if she means that much to you. She must be someone worth saving. I just want all of you to be happy again. Be happy again. I see. I'm sorry to have asked you such a strange question. Heh, kid. I got a lot of questions in this line of work. That's not one even close to strange. Well, if you remember anything, give me a call. You've got my number. Remember anything, even something that might be insignificant. Julian and I excused ourselves and stepped out into the street. No sooner had the doors shut behind us than Julia began to speak. Sir, I think Iris knows something. Yeah, I think you're right, babe. There wasn't something she wasn't telling us. My guess is she didn't feel safe telling us at the concert. We just have to wait for her to contact us. I suppose we will, sir. What now, sir? Well, there's something that's been on my mind since yesterday. What would that be? The chump who tried to do Halloween in the hotel. Why'd he go after Holloway instead of you or me? I was sure that the phone call was for me, but I guess we have to consider that they were really talking to Holloway. That's a good point, sir. Maybe it's time we find out a little bit more about our Mr. Holloway. Are we certain that Mr. Holloway and Eva were seeing each other? Yes, I've talked to a bunch of people who can confirm that. I guess that the next step is to go check out the ship. Yes. Hey, yeah, you're so noisy. So yeah, that's all for this episode, and because I don't want to make it too long, it's already a little bit too long with my schedule. So yeah, if you like this video, click the like button. If you don't, click the dislike button. And when it's in the credits, you can go click to Mr. Cedric's face to subscribe to me, or click on the previous to see the last video that I've done. So yeah, as always, that's not my line. So until then, this is Natnarf signing off.